Welcome to Her Brain's His Looks Real Estate and Lifestyle podcast. It's hosted by two of the smartest and most attractive realtors in the business, well, according to their mothers. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the brains of the operation, Erika Portanova-Songer, and the looks, George E. O'Connell.
We are officially live
and back.
It is September, I had to look at my watch, 21st.
21st, yeah, 2020.
This is episode number 15 of Her Brains, His Looks. Welcome, everybody. We are live on Facebook and YouTube right now. Of course, as always, you can ask us any questions in the comment section. But we got one viewer already.
So, George, when's the last time we did this? I feel like
it was June, late June.
Yeah. We had a little COVID delays, so we are back. And our plan, and my goal, I believe it's George's goal, is to every week be back with our normal weekly routine of our podcast. So, with guest speakers and all that fun stuff. So, that's our going forward. We had just a little bit of a hiccup this summer.
Well, we couldn't do it together in the same room. We did try to do it remotely.
It was hard for me, technically.
Yeah, it was harder for me.
Yes.
Because of Erika's technical inabilities.
Well, listen, we all have our skill sets, and technology's not mine.
No.
So George usually does everything, but when we're not apart, when we're not together, it's a little difficult for me. So.
And honestly, our setup when we're together is much better. We have a whole system. Better mics, better cameras.
You probably missed me. Who are we kidding? Like, we're better together.
I had a great summer. It really was delightful.
Yeah, I hardly saw George. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
But I'm back now, so.
Well, we are actually in office.
Yeah, I'm excited. Our office is open.
We were in Southport Harbor, Connecticut.
Yep, 251 Main Street, right across from the Pequot Yacht Club. Beautiful, beautiful scenery here.
We got another upgrade to the main conference room.
Yes.
So if you look at the mirror behind me, you can get the reflection of the harbor that way. But yeah, we're here, and we're excited to be back in the office. We could come into the office, but your reduced schedules and amount of time you could be here, obviously because of the COVID.
It was just a little bit challenging. So we're back now, and just for the record, though, we have not been broadcasting. We have been working all summer, so let's not pretend like we haven't been, working on what's off.
What?
Our ass is off.
Oh, that's now we got to...
Now I just censor. Do you have a censor thing? Can you not say that word? I mean, technically
I do. I have a cough button. I missed it.
Clearly. So before we start, we're going to focus on Fairfield today.
Fairfield, Connecticut.
Yep.
Real estate stats, what's going on in Fairfield.
A little bit of lifestyle. But I always like to do my, how can we stump George? Because if anyone...
Could we at least get into the show a little bit?
Fine. I'm excited, though. My daughter and I, we created 2 questions that we know that George does not know.
All right, let's have them. Come on.
But if you know George O'Connell... Those out there who know George. George knows everything. It's annoying, actually. So,
well, I'll try.
My goal every week is to stump. Okay, ready. First question. George.
Yes.
What's the smallest mammal? Mammal.
Is it a bat? Mouse? Mammal. I'm going to guess it's some kind of rodent. Am I correct?
No. Would you like me to share?
I want to.
Although, actually, I have to give you credit. It's in the bat family.
Okay, so
I'm actually impressed because I didn't even know a bat was a mammal. So,
what did you think it was?
Well, I mean, if I think about it, yes, I know it's a mammal, but I have to think because of bird, fly. It's not a bird, I know, but it's a specific kind of bat. The smallest mammal, which happens to be a bat in the world, it's a certain kind. I've never heard it until my daughter points it out. It's a bumblebee bat.
Okay, so it's a bat. So
yeah, but
I get credit.
God, God, you're so smart.
I get credit.
Okay, this is a good one, because if anyone knows George, also knows that he loves his dog, and he knows
God.
I purposely like to make fun of his dog
So
just to
this is
annoy him.
all animal-related questions.
Because I have my
come from a 9-year-old?
my 9-year-old did it, so yeah, today's animal-related. Deal with
Okay.
it. All right, and for the record, I don't hate dogs. I just like to pretend like I hate his dog. What's the smartest dog in the world, according to Alexa?
Well, Sir Chester is
okay.
obviously the
Okay.
answer.
For those that know, George and Lori, their dog is Sir Chester, a King.
I'll say King Charles
King
Spaniel.
Charles Spaniel. And all he does is bark. Go ahead. Yep. Continue.
I'm going to guess Great Dane.
No. Border Collie. I actually knew that.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with
Oh my
that.
God, that is 100%. I challenge all of you to tell me otherwise. It's a Border Collie.
Yeah.
Smartest dog in the world, hands down, period. Thank you.
Okay, hands
Great
down,
Dane.
period.
Bigger's not better, George.
Well, in George O'Connell's, it is.
Well, George is 6'7", so that's why. Okay, moving on.
So we're jumping into Fairfield, Connecticut, and going to start off with some stats before we get into lifestyle a little bit. I have to add that, and then we click over, and boom, we're in the town of Fairfield.
All right, I'm in the slides, right?
You're in the slides.
Okay, so again, we're doing town of Fairfield today, and
And by the way, I took some of those pictures.
oh yes,
Did you see my lovely pictures? Actually, did I take them all?
I think you did.
I did. I
You
took
definitely
them
took the one on the bottom of the moon.
I took them all.
Yeah, George has this. It's like your thing. It's like your outlet. I ride horses, and you go and
Scooter.
scooter around, and also takes pictures, and you
know,
do that a lot.
Chicks dig guys on scooters.
Oh my God, it's the hottest, sexiest thing ever. Obviously, thank God you're married.
Obviously.
Okay, moving on. But very nice pictures. Well done. All right, so we like to talk about our stats as a whole, and obviously we're looking at the latest full month, which was in August, since we're still in September.
Yeah, and the left side here is August, and then the right side of the chart is year to date. So we'll stick with going through just the August numbers. We may touch on the year to date, but those will come kind of in the stats to follow. But this is a concise kind of picture of what is up and down, mostly up. I'll give you a little inside information of the real estate market in Fairfield, Connecticut. So go ahead, Arika.
Yep, so the big takeaway here, obviously, is the more listings. So 2019, we had 73 listings in August, and 2020 of this past August, 117.
New listings.
Thank you, new listings. So you were up 60% in terms of how many new listings versus last year, the same time of year.
And we were considering 19 at this time because 19 got off to a slow start.
Yep, we had a slow spring market in 2019. Our spring market was in the summer, and then we got busy, and now we're, of course, incredibly busy.
Yep.
We should talk about that in a second, too. So pending sales, obviously, there was just a big influx of movement in August compared to last year in August, right? So your listings are up, your number of sales are up. Pending sales, pending means in fully executed contract. They're past the inspections. They're just waiting for their final mortgage approval and closing. That was up 111%. Closed sales,
111.
yeah, it's insane.
It's more than doubled.
Number of closed sales, houses that obviously officially traded on the market, up 86% from 81 to 151. Days on market, though, interesting enough, is not less, it's more.
Well, and that is a variety of reasons, I feel, is if you think back when the house was signed,
Sign meaning,
put on the market.
yep, it's 5 years.
Yeah, put on the market. It was in dead center COVID. Oh, these houses got off the market, and they got off. I mean, you got to remember, to get their days on the market is 90 days. Plus, there's a little length of time added for the mortgages to come through in this.
Right, so the market, the measuring of that is supposed to be from the moment it goes on the market,
Yep.
active live on market, until there's an executed offer fully signed. Now, we all tend to not change the step. Elections are out, so it's days on the market now in September, and this was in August, and was relevant in July. probably June too, was that because we're in a seller's market, which means low supply, high demand, days on market, there is no days on market. Things are coming off the market after one day, after 24 hours. We're seeing multiple offers. We're seeing things go off the market.
Accepted offers in one day.
Yes,
so not
sorry.
technically coming off.
Oh,
the
no,
market.
excuse me, sorry. That's just realtor lingo.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
continue, because these are the big numbers,
okay.
the median and then the average sale price. This is where you're going to get some wow factor.
Right, so median sale price, comparing again last August to this year's August, is up 23.9% from median sale price of last August being $577,000, this year of August being $715,000. Average sale price, same thing, same big jump. Last year was $644,000. This year is $955,000, up 48%.
It's huge.
In average sale price, which is huge. The percentage of list price received, people like to see the statistic. It's not as you know there. It's basically getting you're getting 98% of your ask price is what they're saying. And last year they were getting 97% of your ask
Now,
price.
this is the big number here, I think.
So a big number that I mentioned a moment ago that we're in a seller's market, which basic econ, right? Low supply, high demand. I didn't do well in econ. I know you did.
And we're going back to econ.
Yep.
Go.
So last year, the supply alone in August was 507 single-family homes for sale. This year in August, there were 344 single-family homes for sale in Fairfield. So that's a big difference. That's 32% less houses for sale. And that's what affected this market to make it such a crazy seller's market. Okay, moving down. I'm not going to do year-to-date. Do you want to do year-to-date?
The only thing year-to-date I think is important, or people want to know the numbers. The two that are important are median sale price is up 12.1%, and your average sale price year-to-date is up 15.7%. So we were looking at August before. That's when you saw the 23 and the 48. But as a whole, year-to-date, you can say your average sale price is up 15.7%. So that's pretty, remarkable.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Moving
moving
on.
on. So did you like the new colors I chose, by the way?
Sure, I do. I think they're delightful.
When George hands off the bar graphs to me, I change things because I can't find what he just did because I'm not as good at it as he is.
And this PowerPoint presentation we put together, if you send us a comment here or you email us, our information will be on the last slide. We can always send you the PowerPoint as well, or you can call us for advice. We are full-time realtors.
Yep, realtor professionals.
Go ahead.
Okay, so in 2019, fully closed single-family homes, 616 homes, and this year, 2020 to date, of course, is 742 homes that have closed. So you're seeing a 20% increase over 2019 during COVID of homes that have closed. Again, it's just showing the pace of the market. We're seeing a lot of what everyone's hearing on the news, a lot of influx from down county. Down county is, of course, lower the New York boroughs, New York City itself. So we're seeing a lot of flux there of movement, and that's what's contributing to this fast pace of movement of sales up here. Breaking down by month. So year to date, again, to date, Fairfield single-family closed houses. You could see the evolution a little bit. So January, February is normal, which is normally kind of low because you're coming out of winter, coming out of the holidays. Spring market hasn't officially started till around March. Then COVID hits in March, and we see sort of a stall pattern in March and April. I think we all kind of
All the way to June,
Yeah.
compared to 2019, it kind of stalled out. I mean, again, this is closed.
Right. So
So
remember,
people were buying houses that show up in July and subtract 2 months, so they're buying them in May.
absolutely, or even April.
Or even April if it's more than 60-day close.
Right, because our average closing time frame is 60 days, give or take. So that's a good point, George. So then you see the incredible jump up in July and August. So it's a lot of movement.
I mean, even September, we got to remember, this is through September 20th, so yesterday.
Right, yeah.
September is off to a banging start compared to 2019. So we're going to see another 10, 11 days, September 30 days in September, April, June,
Yeah,
May, 30 days. So we're going to see another 10 days of closed houses hit this chart So it's going to be pretty close to that July-August little increase.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think you'll still also see a high number in October.
I noticed you changed my chart to say, look at August. I said, no, look at July and August.
George, I only try to please you. I don't know why it's so hard. Never good enough. Okay. Fairfield average sale price year to date. So we have, let me back up. 2009, 709,000 sale price, and in 2020, 841. So you saw a total, did I count that right?
Yeah.
$132,000 increase in the average sale price.
Now remember, the first chart that we showed was through the end of August. So these year-to-date numbers obviously include through yesterday, September.
Right.
That's why the numbers will be different a little bit, but this is, to me, a $132,000 increase.
But let's talk about why, though. Why the sale price increased so much.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
You go ahead.
Okay.
You start.
Well, so what I'm finding, and I'm sure, I know that George is finding the same thing since we worked together, so we're bringing...
Hope so.
Who knows? We bring buyers out, making an offer on a house. We'll be one of 6 or 7 offers on a house. So obviously it's what they call multiple offer situations. So then, of course, you're already going in knowing you're offering at least asking price, if not over. So that's another reason why the sale prices are increasing so much, because the values have not changed. House prices, the buyers are... Think about it. This is my fault.
I'm not sure if I agree.
That's okay, and I welcome the disagreement. But the buyers are driving the price up. So while they're putting in offers for $30,000, $40,000 more than asking to compete with the other offers in order to get the house, and they're driving the prices up.
Okay.
Buyer demand.
All right.
Thoughts?
Let's go back to our
thoughts, there, George.
Let's go back to our conversation a couple of weeks ago. Everybody said, we're getting multiple offers, and everybody's getting over asking. But weekly, we get a report of what happened in other towns available. What is pending this week, what's new this week, what closed this week. And as you go through the 40-something sales in Fairfield that closed, only like 6 of them were over asking. So, to my point... is multiple offers, yes, doesn't necessarily mean over asking. It means, and I consider over asking under $5,000. Okay, so if it's house is $250 and it went for $251, that's asking.
Yeah.
But if it's a little, if it's something a little more substantial, I consider it definitely me personally.
Yeah.
But the demand, the low supply, back to your statement before, has driven up the asking price of the house. It began as a percentage over, plus those houses that went over has evolved into this price. I think the asking price started with...
Because of the demand, because of the inventory.
The house doesn't have the same value. It can't, because when demand's up, the house value goes up.
If anybody ever try to argue with George, it is exhausting. It makes you doubt everything you've ever
Well, you're talking to me one-on-one, and you just contradicted yourself.
Listen, I majored in French, so I know what I'm talking about. Well, okay. Yes, the economic factors obviously play a huge, and
I'm not dismissing
no, but you make a good point, though. Yeah.
But if you look at the stats, and I'm a stats guy, if you look at the basic stats, yes, there is a significant more houses as a percentage going over asking. It's significant.
Yeah. Yes.
But as a percentage of the houses going over asking is not as great as the percentage, what I'm trying to say. It's not as great as the whole.
Yes.
So compared to last year, a lot more houses are going over asking, is my point.
Yes, and a lot more buyers are not getting what they wanted despite aggressive offers and aggressive, strategic plays on the houses are not getting them. But yes, your point is valid. I feel that in my heart, my point is a little bit valid too, but economically and statistically, your point makes a lot more sense than mine. So we're going to move on.
Well, we should, because it's getting a little boring.
Wow. All right, so Fairfield, every town in this area has their own significant neighborhoods. Fairfield's a very neighborhood-driven type of town. And really, we're a commuter town, so really it's proximity to train line and center of town. Many years ago, Greenfield Hill was the place to be, and now we find people are gravitating more toward the center of town. And now we're seeing a flux going back to Greenfield. So it's just, it's a fluid movement.
Well, and I think that Greenfield Hill estate has a lot to do with it. So these people that are coming from the influx of New York City, even those Westchester, I'd like to say, that want to even get out that close to the city and want to get out of the city.
More privacy, more land around them.
And so that's why this bump in Greenfield Hill, you are getting, the more compared to, say, the University area, where the both areas, these houses are a little bit stacked on each other.
Yes. So you'll see the biggest markets that have had the most sales are the University area. Universities referring to Fairfield University, even though technically there are two universities in Fairfield, Fairfield U and Sacred Heart University. Greenfield Hill and Thurley Beach are the three most trafficked with sales, I guess.
Yeah.
Popular this year. For this year. And every year it changes, frankly. But this year, those are the three that
I think the one that really stuck out to me here, because if you think of Southport Village, where we are, Southport Harbor, it's kind of a traditional neighborhood.
Yes.
Old school, old money neighborhood. But the amount of trades compared in Southport, and we got to realize Southport is this side of 95, Route 195, and it goes to the other side of Route 195. But the amount of Southport going up, 47 in 2019 homes traded versus 80, I just think that's a big jump for this area, at least.
And this area is very expensive, so I think we're talking some homes that were quite hefty in their asking and sale prices. So these were not and low budget homes.
Yeah, they're not low budget homes. They're a lot of them obviously are historic homes. They've been here a couple of years as compared to the beach area, which a lot of the homes are, even the university area, but they're
new construction.
New construction.
Yeah.
So that chart is pretty interesting. I love that one.
Okay.
That's why it's there.
I know. I know, George. That's why it's there. Okay.
All right. Big numbers.
So again, this just aligns with the increase from 2019 to this current year, 2020. So $187.4 million more in closed sales year to date. You can compare the numbers of $437 million to $624 million.
What I should have done, I didn't. Seen what the closed sales in 2019 were, and how far we're off where we are to date in 2020.
Versus that?
Well, you see how this is, year to date, so this is through. But I'm wondering what was the total number of dollar value of the homes sold in Fairfield in 2019? I should have did that stat, because I bet you we're approaching it year to date in 2020.
Probably.
Yeah. If you think, $187 million worth of homes in 3.5 more months.
Well, yeah.
October, November, December, it's pretty interesting. So anyways, $187 million.
Well, we can report back in January and let them know.
Or next week.
That's true. Okay, fine. Moving on.
We'll be here next week. Fun fact time.
Every week. This is just a little fun fact. So 2019, our average months of inventory, 8.2 months. Whereas in 2020, our average months of inventory is 6.8. I never really understood the average months of inventory. Do you really understand that? It's just when you say...
Well, it's the average number of traded homes divided into the average number of homes that are listed.
Oh, okay then. Thank you. And 2019 numbers shows per listing 4.3, and 2020 numbers shows per listing 5.9. It just shows the increase of showings and the decrease of inventory.
And, I think that number gets skewed, the showings number, because if you don't use showing time,
Explain what showing time is.
it is, I was going to.
Okay, fine. Thanks.
If you don't go through the computer program by the MLS, they won't track it.
Right.
So if an agent pings you, hey, Erika calls me, George, can I show your listing at 283 First Avenue, Milford, Laurel Beach on the market now? You'll say, I say, sure, Erika, how about 3 o'clock tomorrow? That doesn't go through the program. So that is not, reflected in this number. That happens a lot, I would say.
I would say third of the time. I don't even know, but probably enough to skew the numbers. Yeah.
So if it doesn't go through, my point is showing time, it's not reflected in, because I feel a lot of the homes get shown a lot more than this number reflects.
I think you're 100% correct.
We're recording,
Often,
so it's good.
so don't worry. Okay. Okay, so as of the 21st of September, that will be today, or really it was yesterday, or did you update this today?
I updated it this morning.
Oh, excellent. I like that. So it just gives you an overall Fairfield overview. Again, remember, single-family homes, not condos. So right now, to date, we have 187 single-family homes available for sale. Their average asking price is $1,729,000. We have currently 120 single-family homes that have an accepted and signed offer. It means they're in the early stages of the offer process, and the average asking price of those homes, $826,000. We have 131 single-family homes who are in pending status or have a deposit, which means they're past inspections. They're just waiting for their mortgage to be finalized, and the average asking price of those homes, $1,041,000. And since August 1st, so between August 1st and today, we had 246 single-family homes close, and the average sale price of those homes, $969,000.
All right, let's look at those numbers a little bit. I did flip the page. So one thing that is to look at the average, the average home is 1.7 million, right?
Right.
And we know that's inflated because some of the super duper listed homes, the multi-million dollar homes, are the homes that still sit there. So it's
The $16 million homes. And yeah.
So that it isn't inflated. The best thing to do is, what happened in August or since August would give you a true number of the average. And back to our average we stated earlier slide, but basically $1 million you need to get into the Fairfield market for
an updated, nice
home.
Yeah.
So the average home in Fairfield is not 1.7 like the active is showing. It really truly is the 1 million.
Yeah, I concur.
Oh, 100% right again.
No.
100% right
Listen,
again.
we're just getting back here, so don't move it on. Oh, George, look.
What do we got?
What is this? Wow, this looks like a really nice house.
Oh, this is
it.
delightful.
Oh,
Yes.
this looks like really, and I can have my family, my in-laws could live in front. And I could live
Well,
in
how
back.
so? Discuss it more. So
Interesting.
anyways,
So interesting. 2 houses on one property.
2 houses on one property. This is my listing on Laurel Beach, Milford. It's a private association. It's I think, the best beach in Milford, if not definitely in New Haven County, I would say. Some people could argue.
Some might say that. Let's just...
But it's New Haven County. I didn't say Fairfield.
No, that's true.
Okay.
All right. Let's go.
So it's a private association. There's a lot of amenities there. There's the basketball court, the private boardwalk, the private beach.
Casino.
There's the private building casino, which has bowling and kids activities, ping pong and such. But this is our home that we have listed on First Avenue, and it is on the Housatonic Wedge, I'll call it. So it's on Milford Point Road and First Avenue Wedge there. 2 houses on this property. There's a front house colonial, which has about 2,500 square feet. And then there is a back house, which was built in 2007, and that is about 2,100 square feet.
And that has gorgeous views of the marsh or the wedge, as you call it.
Yeah, it is. The Housatonic River is,
all
overlooking,
windows.
the sunset side of the avenue there. But right down the street is the walkway to the private beach.
Yeah, you're just like a 3-minute walk to the beach. So
Yeah, so I think this is set up perfectly for a family situation where, the younger generation lives in one house, the older generation might live in the back.
or a guest house, maybe like a main house and a guest house.
Yeah, I was going to say an investor situation where the investor could live one, rent the other, rent both out. This house it should definitely take a peek. I did just add to the listing, again, 283 First Avenue, the 3D tour. So you can walk through the house. It's a pretty nifty view. It is on both the William Pitt website and on the Realtor websites as well.
Good. Okay. Yeah, it is a great listing, so definitely check it out. And George is the exclusive listing realtor of that property.
Exclusively listed by.
But you can also ask me, and I'll tell you about it too. And I'll refer you to George. Okay, moving on.
What are we going to do?
So our go-to two, which is again what we do every podcast. This implements the lifestyle aspect to our podcast. We're real estate and lifestyle. So
right there in our logo.
it does, but I like to remind people, again, what
I
we
didn't say
represent.
anything was wrong with that.
And I do think we should focus a little more on lifestyle too. I have some thoughts and opinions for future. We'll talk privately though.
Good thing you're telling me now.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead.
we'll talk about it later. No worries. So my good friend, and now George has been forced to become friends with him.
That's my buddy.
Bob Sussman. So his family has owned the Fairfield Center Jewelers, which is a jewelry store right here in the center of town on Post Road in Fairfield, forever. I want to say 80 plus years, but now I can't remember quite exactly. So anyway, Bob Sussman's my friend. All right, full confession, he's my gym husband. Don't tell my real husband or my work husband, that's George. So I have a lot of husbands, it's exhausting. So Bob and I are workout buddies. Anyway, we're good friends, and this is his store that he owns and runs. And I happen to love every week, or maybe it's a few times a week, they do these Instagram posts, and his brother Michael is the one that's in charge of the marketing. And I love the breakdown of the word. Sometimes I have to challenge it and understand what it means, but the oxymoron, the rubies, and this is an example of their marketing, and I think it's just the coolest thing. Personally, I like the angle they take with how they showcase some of their products. So, my opinion, what do you think, George? I like this advertising.
No, I definitely do, but why don't you talk about the store?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I'm really happy that you like the marketing aspect
Honestly, I
of it.
can't tell you. Well, I haven't personally bought any. Well, I've bought a few things there, but I picked out a couple of things on hold. So
Yeah.
we need money, George. Don't worry.
Rolex.
There's been a tennis bracelet I've been eyeing for a while.
I thought you meant for me. I thought you meant a Rolex.
Bob has your number. He knows to call you when you're ready to get it from me. So it's like
So anyways, they do anything from a state jewelry.
they're fixing my girlfriend's wedding rings. I mean, a lot of the wedding rings, we all wear them every day and don't realize how worn out they get now, and how actually a little bit damaged, and sometimes you can lose some of the prongs.
A friend of mine just lost her. She's a waitress, a server in Maine. Lost her main diamond.
No.
Literally yesterday. That's
sad.
funny. You talked about fixing.
Well, it's funny because so Bob tells him, he can tell you himself. We'll get him on one day. But Bob says you have to really check it every year. Check the prongs, check whatever the lingo is. But basically check your rings and make sure they're nice and strong. So you don't lose
That's something Bob can do.
That's what
Bob does. Anyways, it's right in the center of town, across from the old Victoria's
so
Secret
upset.
or the Fairfield U bookstore.
Upset, by the way, because Victoria's Secret is leaving town.
Oh, so my body spray. I have to order it online now for myself.
I know. Oh.
There's our friend Marlene. I hope she lost ears.
Yeah, my ears went out. Can I still talk, though?
You can still talk.
Oh, cool. Okay.
As long as you can hear me, you can take your ears off.
Oh, that's true. I look good at my ears. All right. So anyway, that's move on. Castle on Post. George's good friend.
Yeah.
Patrick Carey.
No, Clyne.
What?
Patrick Clyne.
Oh, who's Carrie?
I don't know.
Oh, that's somebody else.
Patrick and Paula Clyne.
Oh,
and
just kidding.
family.
Patrick
Yep.
Clyne.
This is on the up there on Post Road on the Black Rock border. Patrick's been there for years now. It's a traditional, I'll call it a traditional Irish pub. Always good for a nice pint of Guinness. He added the COVID parking lot, dining room, eating area. They're going to, obviously it's getting cooler out. Last night it was in the 50s, early 60s, late 50s, so they're adding a tent. But supposedly the governor's going to do something tomorrow for interior capacity. Rumor has it.
Allowing
more capacity and
Nice.
What they're going to do with bar seating and that kind of stuff. Anyways, Patrick's food is awesome. Oh, check out the Shepherd's Pie.
Irish Banners is my favorite.
The fish and chips, amazing. Every Wednesday night he has seafood on the patio, and it's an awesome place to go. It's very popular. I finished working. Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday night. I had a catering gig up in Bethany, and I stopped by there on the way back, and he had quite a great business on the patio and the interior tables. He has live music, so check out his Facebook page, but support this family. They're in it for the long run. He'll always have a smile on his face. Give him your name, and he won't forget the next time.
He's a great guy, and he also participated when you did the charity work with.
He did Let Our Village Eat. He did 2 events for us. One was for the frontline workers. One was for the community, and the frontline workers. We sent over meals to St. Vincent's.
Great guy.
Great
Sorry,
guy.
I said his last name wrong.
Clyne.
Oops. Patrick Clyne. Got it. Okay. Oh, George and I also have a property management company. Yes, for those who have any needs of little management for properties, they may go to Florida for the winter or anything in that nature, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, what Rika's on, apartment buildings, and my sister currently is involved in either elderly housing, whether it's with visiting nurses or independent living. So we've been doing it in our family for
Between the
40 years. Yeah. This in your aspect of it, your family has multiple properties, and it's from student housing to turning over that student housing to regular, apartment style building.
Right, and to us, it felt like a natural extension of what we do now as full-time realtors. For us, taking on another, I'll call it a branch of our brand,
Yep.
of property management made sense to us. So again, we offer that, and that is it. And this is our information, who we are, how to reach us, and anything we could do to help you, advice, help in actually getting houses or selling a house, reach out.
Reach out, and again, our PowerPoint presentation is available. If you want to have a copy of it, we can always send you updated stats. You just get a hold of us on those number or emails there. If you're looking for a property management company, give us a ring. And I think that is about it, right, kid?
All right, so next week we're back. We think Monday. We'll double check. We'll let you know.
What do you mean Monday?
You said we'd double check.
Okay, Monday.
Okay. Next week we're back. We're definitely back now, and thank you so much for the support.
And we'll let you know what town we're going to do as soon as we decide.
Okay, goodbye.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
The opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints expressed by the podcast hosts and their guests are theirs solely. The information shared has been professionally sourced and disseminated through the resources provided by the sponsoring real estate brokerage